Good morning, friends. Welcome to this session. So, in today's session, we will discuss about the pneumatic actuators. Uh, so, let us see about the pneumatic actuator. What are the pneumatic actuator? So, pneumatic actuator, it is an actuator. Okay, pneumatic actuator is a mechanical device that performs the work. In a pneumatic system, the most common actuators are cylinders and motors. Okay, so in addition to cylinders and motors, we are having the third type, that is the um, limited rotation motor. Okay, limited rotation motor, we can call it as limited rotation motor or semi-rotary actuators. Normally there are uh, three types, but generally we are using only uh, two types in the industries. They are cylinders and motors. Okay, so let us see what is the pneumatic cylinder. Okay, so pneumatic cylinder, uh, we are having the pneumatic cylinder again. We are having the two types of pneumatic cylinder, that is single acting and double acting. Okay, uh, what is single acting cylinder? A single acting cylinder has one port. Okay, you can see here the port. Okay, when the pressurized air enters the port, piston overcomes the spring and extends the rod. When the air in the extended cylinder is allowed to exhaust to the atmosphere, the spring pushes against the piston and causes it to retract. So we will see the extension of the cylinder, how the cylinder is extended. So air will come into this port, okay, and it will push this piston, okay. Then this spring is getting compressed, okay. So after the extension is done, okay, after the extension is done, then what will happen? During the retraction position, the spring, it will get expand, and again the air, whatever the air filled inside this cylinder, so it will pass through the port. So then we will see about the double acting cylinder. So double acting cylinder, it has two ports. Okay, so that is cap end port and the piston end port. Then here what happens when the pressurized air enters the cap end port, and the air at the piston end is allowed to escape to the atmosphere. So during the extension, what is happening? The air is entering from the cap end port. Okay, then it pushes the piston in forward direction. Then from whatever the air is there at this side, rod end, that will be passed through the piston end port. Okay. In some of the books, this piston end port, we are calling it as the rod end port. Okay. Then in the retraction, what happens? In the retraction, the pressurized air will enter at the piston end port, and air is allowed to escape through the cap end port during the retraction. So this was about the double acting cylinder. Then mainly the speed of the cylinder here, it depends on the factors, that is supply pressure, then flow rate, and the load resistance. So let us see how the air pressure is applied. So the speed of the cylinder, it is proportional to the amount of the air pressure. Okay, so as the pressure increases, the cylinder speed will increase. So because the cylinder speed is directly proportional to the pressure, so as the pressure increases, the speed will also increase. So we can observe the pressure changes here for the slow speed and fast speed. So here, double acting cylinder we are using. A double acting cylinder is there, and the pressure gauge is shown. So first, we will see for the slow speed. So slow speed, the pressure is less. Okay, the pressure is less. Then in the fast speed, you can see that the pressure is increasing. As the pressure increases, the speed will also increase. So in the fast speed. So in this way, The supply pressure is directly, it is dependent on the speed of the cylinder. Then we will see about, we will see the factor of the flow rate. So again, the flow rate, what happens, the speed of the cylinder, again, it is proportional to the rate at which air flows to the cylinder. So how we can change the flow rate? We can change the flow rate by changing the size of the port inside a flow control valve, where the air will flow. So if I change the size of the flow control valve, okay, so that is flow control valve. If it is needle valve, then if I am opening that needle valve fully open, then the flow rate will increase. So if the flow rate increases, then again the speed will also increase. So the larger the port size, the greater the flow rate. So let us see here the same diagram, that is we are using a double acting cylinder. A load is connected here. Then here the flow control valve is there. So flow control valve, first I will see for the slow uh, position. Then we can see for the medium. So when the flow opening, that is the flow opening is medium, the speed will be medium. So when the flow opening, that is for the fast. When I am opening the flow control valve fully open, then the speed will decrease. That is for the fast condition. Then we will see about the third factor, that is the load resistance. Because again the load is also depending on the actuator. So here again the speed of the cylinder is affecting by the resistance to the movement. Okay, so the greater the resistance, the slower the cylinder moves. So as the load increases, the that is the speed will decrease. So we will see the cylinder speed as this size of the load is varied. Okay, so for the small load, so you can observe here, this for the small load the speed is increased. Okay, then if I'm increasing the load, so you can observe that the speed is decreasing. So that is the larger the load, the greater the resistance, and the speed will decrease. So next we will see about the second type of actuator, that is motors. So pneumatic motors, the common type is the rotary vane motor. Same rotary vane motor we are also using the hydraulic system. Okay, but there we will be using the air. So here what happens in the pneumatic motors, they operate at speeds that is excess of 10,000 rpm. So here, due to the compressibility of the air, and pneumatic motors are restricted to low to moderate torque. Low to moderate torque. So we are not going for the higher torque. The torque is restricted to low to moderate. So what are the advantages of pneumatic motors or electric motors? Are that pneumatic motors can stall under full loads, while electric motors will blow the circuit breakers if they are overloaded. Okay. If the overloading condition is there, then the pneumatic, that is the electric motor, will blow the circuit breakers. But when the overloaded condition, pneumatic motors will stall. Okay, they will stalling will be then. That is the what are the air that is working. It will work in the proper manner. Okay, so in electric motors, unlike that is in the electric motors, pneumatic motors, they do not create sparks. Okay, they do not create sparks, so that fire is not caused. Okay, so again, it is advantageous in the hazardous environment. So here we are seeing the two graphical symbol of the pneumatic motors. Okay, so this first condition is for the unidirectional. So unidirectional, again I will draw this circle. I will draw this circle and I will point this triangle pointing towards inside. pointing towards inside, and the triangle will be open, that is open type. If it is solid, then it will become the hydraulic motor. Okay, so again for the bidirectional, I am showing the two triangles which are facing inside this circle. So this is for the uh, pneumatic symbol of that is the pneumatic symbol of the motors. Okay, so this finishes the actuator.